everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, hello. You are so loved. Thank you for being here. I wanted to pop in and say, hey, welcome to the start of another weekend vlog. Hello. It is the start of a long weekend vlog, my friends, and guess what we're doing tomorrow bright and early, which is actually something that I should really go pack for, but I've been reading all evening. I just wanted to finish my books and then close out the evening and then go pack and then just go to bed. But it is already 12:30 and I need to be up in the morning to leave. But we're going to the lake. Long-winded rambles. We're going to the lake for a couple days. So it should be fun. It should be amazing. But yes, I am bringing a whole stack of books with me. Of course, continuing the My Friends Pick My TBR with, here, that's easier to read this way, these bad boys. And I'm also continuing my Aragon read with Eldest. As I finished Aragon today, I had just under an hour left when I got home from my piano lesson, which was great because I listened to about an hour of it at the end of my workday because I was just doing like mindless hour logging type stuff. So I listened to an hour more of this and then I had like just about an hour left when I got home, finished that off. Fucking love this book so much. What a reread. I'm so excited that I'm rereading this series. Anyways, I also need to perform tape surgery on it a little bit, but it's fine. Anyways, so we're going to be continuing on with Eldest. And I also have A River Enchanted to bring, Practical Potions and Premeditated Murder, which I'm really excited about, and then Where Peace is Lost. I have audiobooks for 3 of these, but Cozy Fantasy is where it's at the lake. So excited, amazing. But I also just finished reading The Vampires of El Norte. What a book! This had me kicking and screaming my little feet. I was, it's been a while since I've read a book that is predominantly a romance that has really done it for me. Oh, this did it for me. I loved these two so fucking much. I want to be loved as fiercely as Nestor loves Nena and just wants to protect her. Oh my God. And the way this cover is a little loose on this book. It's bothering me. And the way that Isabel Cañas just weaves the atmosphere in this book is unbelievable. I adored every second of this book, and everyone who's saying that this is a lot slower than they anticipated, no, it is not. There is so much shit going on in here. It's paced wonderfully. Like, it's got so much shit going on, and I had so much fun reading this. Absolute delight. Gothic, Mexican, the Yankees are an issue. It's 1840s. All these people on the ranchos are trying to defend their honor or defend their land. You know, colonialism, all that good stuff, of course. Oh, fuck, it was so good. Oh my God, it was so good. I need to read The Hacienda right now. Also, the elements of horror in here were perfectly well done. Like, as someone who doesn't love, like, scary shit, but really enjoys the elements of spooky and horror and thriller weaved into narratives because it just adds such a great element of tension. This was a masterpiece. Like, honestly, the monsters in here were so scary. And I kept picturing this as a movie or like a mini series, the way that I would watch the shit out of this, you know? It just, the dripping atmosphere, the cicadas in the background, and then the complete silence when these vampires come into play. Like, oh my God, the atmosphere of this place, the heat dripping off of these people's bodies because it's like so fucking hot. It's the Mexican-Texas border, right? Like, it's just, shit's dusty, shit's muddy, there's war, there's fucking vampires. And then at the heart of it, there is a love story happening. And I say this and my friends pick my TBR video, but I'm going to repeat it here because it is very important. And that is the fact that I forgot how much I love a properly done friends to lovers story. I usually don't love friends to lovers. What is usually done is that you are told that they are friends and you're just supposed to assume that they have all this history and this tension and feelings and whatever, and you're just supposed to believe it and you're not actually shown it. Here, you're shown it, man. You were shown the tension. You were shown the devotion and the protectiveness and the chemistry between these two characters. And then, not only that, you're getting friends to enemies to lovers, but only really on the one side, because Nena does not want anything to do with Nestor, because he left her and she does not want that in her life. Ugh. And then like the tension and the banter between these two. Oh my God. Kill me now. It was so good. It was so good. Anyways, so this is what I spent my Friday doing. Fist pumping to dragons and then kicking my feet for vampires. Oh, it was so good. Huh? What a good reading evening. Whew. Anyways, I gotta go pack because I gotta go to the lake. And I'm too amped now. We're just gonna shut everything down. Get ready to go to the lake once again. I also ended up getting another Braisinger copy because I was on the hunt originally to find copies of Eldest and Aragon, wherever I put it, right here. Eldest and Aragon, like these two match. They are the same kind of paperback, and the feel of these paperbacks is divine. In fact, I would go so far as to say truly divine. It's like a little bit of a pebbly, soft, I've literally never felt a book like this. And she floppy as hell, right? Like this one, once this one's like broken in, it'll be even more floppy. And these like match in texture and size, and they're wonderful. And I wanted the old covers because I don't like the new covers. So I was on the hunt to like do my entire series like that. The amount of copies that I have bought of Braisinger is like at like 3 at this point. Every single one of them has been wrong. Every single one of them has been either hardcover, which was broken and was not what I ordered off of Abe Books, or there have been 2 super tall paperbacks. Like this, like holding it up, it is the same version and it does have that like dappled cover, but it doesn't have the same feeling as these because these are much smaller. So I did my research today. I looked on Abe Books. I looked up every single ISBN that there was for a Braisinger that looked like this, that was softcover, and measured it. I looked up the ISBN. I have a little ruler, and I looked at the dimensions of the books, and I measured it against this book and against this book, and I think I found a copy that matches. And if it doesn't, I'm going to scream. It's this cover, but it's also got the New York Times bestseller at the top, which these do. And I think it's by Knopf. I think it's by Penguin Random House. I think it has this on the side, so fingers fucking crossed. But anyways, like this is such a juicy paperback. I would really like for my Aragon set to match. And then I have a hardcover of Inheritance because I just caved and I was like, well, nothing matches anymore, so I'll just get the hardcover. So I'm also on the hunt for a paperback of Inheritance, but I didn't find any online today that matched these 2 smaller ones. All I could find were paperbacks that matched this one. So hopefully this new paperback coming to me from Germany of all places is gonna match these. If it doesn't, I will just simply give up and cry, or I will look for a hardcover set of all 4 that match, because I think there was one on Facebook Marketplace that was just the first 3 that I could have gotten as well, but it's fine. It's fine. Those are my adventures. Oh, I should also probably say, like, my book buying ban has fully been broken, like, multiple times now. When I went to pick up a pre-order, I made the mistake of looking around and I got the first James Islington book, The Shadow Boat Was Lost. So that broke my book buying ban. And then I was like, what if I just casually break it again when I go get another pre-order? And I picked up Penance by Eliza Clark, which is sitting on my yellow stand over there. Just broke my nail too, so I'm gonna have to cut these before I go anywhere. But anyways, book buying ban has been broken, which is fine. I think I'm gonna be just more mindful about it because also like the bookstore that I'm getting these books from, just in my brain, it's a little further away to get to, and I have to order books to store if I want to get them, like if I want to buy them online, or I have to go in store to get them, which is just a little out of my way, even though I love the bookstore so much. It's such a beautiful place. It's just not as easy as if I was ordering from Indigo, for example, but y'all know Indigo supports the IOF, so we no longer support Indigo. So it's just one of those things that I think being more mindful of what I'm buying, because this hardcover for Penance was like $40. I think the Canadian book prices have hiked a little bit more because I've noticed now, like through my pre-orders and like looking at books online, the price of Canadian pre-orders has hiked an insane amount. Yet again, it is now like $40 per hardcover book, 40 to 41 kind of a thing. So I can't be spending $40 on hardcovers. Even if I get 10% off, it's still like $38. So not worth it. So, anywhozo, my friends, that's my rant about stuff today. What a long intro, but okay. Time to pack. Time to get ready. We're going to the lake. So, welcome to the weekend vlog. Let's get shit started. Doing? Oh my gosh. You turned 13 on Wednesday, sweet pea. Slow down. Goodbye. Hello, friends. Happy Monday. I am back home, cozy on my couch as I have been for the last few hours. Honestly, today went so quickly. It is now just after 5:30, and all I've done today is do the bookish spreads for the books that I read this weekend. That's literally it. I got home from the cabin around 12:30 and just sat here and did this. So your girl was productive, I guess. So we did both the Vampires of El Norte spread, which I'm low-key so proud of. As soon as I saw the cover of Vampires of El Norte, which is just stunning, let me just say, like with the blue to like reddish pink gradient and then the lightning, love. And I knew immediately when I saw it, I was like, I've seen a page in one of my magazines that is this inverted. And so I took a piece of it, and it is the exact right colors. I'm obsessed. And then I had a little bit of the lightning page left over from when I did the Surviving Sky spread with this lightning. And I figured it would work, and it did. Love that for me. Have yet to run it through Copile, but I've written up all my thoughts, which I love. And then I did for Where Peace is Lost, which is the first book that I read this weekend at the cabin. I ended up finishing Where Peace is Lost in one sitting. I read it in like 4 hours, and like, it just didn't give when I wanted it to give, you know? It wasn't what I was expecting going into a Valerie Valdez, because the 3 other Valerie Valdez books that I've read are all the Chilling Effect trilogy, and those books are a fucking great goddamn time. I have such a great time top to bottom. This one, I really didn't. Like, the tone was just kind of blah, and the characters were cool, and like every once in a while I would get like my interest would be piqued, but not like enough to hold me and actually like sink me into the story properly. I really liked the tech in here, and I really liked the world building, as like Valerie Valdez is just a master at that. So that was really lovely. But like, I can't say that this book was fun in any way. It just had like a really morose tone to it, which is not what I was expecting, because Valerie Valdez, homegirl, her work is funny. Like, Chilling Effect is a romp, a space romp. This was sad. Just like the tone was just instead of bopping like Chilling Effect was. But it was still like a really genuinely good book. It was a quest narrative, so it follows Kel, who is a refugee and a super intense warrior who doesn't really like tell the reader what her past is. We just know that she lost everything 5 years ago, and she's been a refugee, and she knows that her presence here where she is on like the edge of the star system is a big old threat to those around her. So she's like really laying low, and she's just trying to make ends meet, and she's stuck. She's basically been stuck for the past 5 years. In her life, she's done really no growth, nothing. She's got one kind of friend there who's like forced themselves into her life, and they are so genuinely sweet and so genuinely naive and innocent at the beginning. And I think Valerie did a really genuinely good job with Luna, their name is, with 2 N's. At first, I found Luna like annoying because they're just so genuinely like bubbly with life and so innocent, and they just like to stick their nose in things because they want more adventure and stuff like that. Actually, I didn't really find Luna annoying, but I saw the possibility for them to be annoying if that continued. But I think Valerie handled that so perfectly. Their character is just the innocence and the genuine want to see the good in situations isn't something that should be considered as like childish or should be underestimated. And I think that was done really well in here. So yeah, so Kel is friends with Luna, and at the beginning of this book there's news of this war machine that has been reawakened, and it is like something from Kel's past. And Kel's genuinely very worried about it because this thing is extremely dangerous and will just destroy towns and villages and worlds, right? Like if it's not dealt with. And so she goes to this meeting where 2 strangers come in. They're from off-world, and they promise to deal with this war machine for a price, of course. Kel's a little sus because like, are these guys just swindlers? Like what? But eventually they kind of get looped in with Kel, and Luna get looped in with these 2 strangers, and like Luna offers up their services as like a guide through through their world to find this war machine. And then Kel's like, well, fuck, I have to go with just to make sure that Luna can come home safely. So it's like a quest narrative with these 2 people. There is a romance at the heart of it that I didn't really feel anything for, which is I mean, I don't really think I've really felt anything for any of Valerie Valdez's romances that she's put in either this book or her Chilling Effect series. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, it's like a quest narrative. It's a rehashing of the past. It's like facing the past and also deciding like elements of the future and stuff. So there is that. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely pick this up because it was really well done. It just wasn't really what I was expecting from a Valerie Valdez book. Anyways, from there, I ended up then reading A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. This, I think, is the definition of a book that I would have given 5 stars if I rated it immediately after finishing it. And now that I've slept on it, this is definitely not a 5-star book. Like, now that I've slept on it, I can see the problems and what I really didn't like. There's a few elements in here that I didn't like, and I feel like it just wasn't quite done completely right. Like it was a little clunky in places, but overall this was such an enchanting story, and I really, really enjoyed the reading experience of this. The audiobook narrator has an absolutely impeccable Scottish accent, and it's just so good. Yeah, it was genuinely so beautifully written. So, like, the story was just gorgeous, and the way that it was told was wonderful. There are elements that I am not a fan of that I'll discuss in my Friends Pick My TBR video. I should have left more of Where Peace is Lost for that, but that's okay. Because both of these were for my Friends Pick My TBR, and as well as The Vampires of El Norte, which I'm just burning through these books, my friends. I think I have 2 more to go. Practical Potions, 3 more to go. Practical Potions, which I'm halfway through, for The Wren Hunt, and then also Bryce Singer. So we'll see how those go. But yeah, this was also like a good read. I really enjoyed reading it yesterday. I was reading it at the same time as my parents were watching the new Swedish disaster film on Netflix called The Abyss. Not the space one that came out in the 80s by the same name. It's a new one. And it's like based on true, not events, but like loosely based on this big like move of a town in Sweden somewhere that is one of the most prolific mining towns, because the geological and seismic activity beneath that town were becoming so dangerous that they feared a giant hole opening up in the ground. And my parents were watching the movie based on that, where the town does actually fall into a giant hole, and it's like a survival thrillery movie, right? So I was half watching that and half listening to this. It was a weird combination, let me tell you. But yeah, this was genuinely a lovely reading experience. I'm really happy that I did finally read it. And I'm going to be getting my hands on the second one, because this ending, I really didn't like the ending of this at all. It pulled a very similar stunt to Rebecca Ross's other book that's really, really popular that I won't name because of the boycott of St. Martin's Press and its imprints, because it's published through Wednesday Books. It pulled a very similar stunt, and I was like, oh, okay. Rebecca Ross is a master at story building and world building. Like, and the character work in here is just incredible. And this is a very gentle, slow book. But I've heard people like call this like a cozy fantasy. I don't really think it is a cozy fantasy. I think it lands kind of in its own little, like, I've read other books like this, I just can't really remember what they are. It had like a similar feeling where it's like something is happening in this town, and it's like following a bunch of different characters as they're trying to discover, like, uncover what's happening. So yeah, this follows Jack and Adarna and Sidra and Torin and then like their families, kind of a thing. So Jack is called back at the beginning of this book from the mainland, is what it's called. He's been there studying to be a bard, and he's been there for like 10 years. So he's kind of on his way to becoming like a professor and stuff like that. But he's called back by his laird, and he's called back because a bunch of girls are going missing. The person who calls him back, Adarna, his like childhood bestie turned enemy turned eventual lover. And this one is a romance between them as well. She calls him back because she believes that the only way that they're going to figure out what's happening to these girls and to find them is through his bardic music, because there's like different people in this world who can wield music and the craft of music, which is very interesting. I really, really like the world building in here. The use of magic as a craft and like the spirit elemental vibes of it. Oh, it was so cool. And like the way that nothing can be secret if you're speaking outside in the like, for like around access of wind. Like if you want something to be truly private, you have to be in a completely closed off room where there is no access from the outside. And the wind can't hear you, because if the wind can hear you, it takes your words and it like spreads it about town. So like there's like the gossip is, everybody knows it, you know. It's very, I don't know, I found that such a unique little thing. Like you can call to someone for aid and like the wind will carry your words to that person and they'll come. Like it was such an interesting little tidbit of magic. I really enjoyed this. But yeah, so it was a good time. There are just elements of it that I'm not a fan of, which is fine. Anyways, yes, I'm also halfway through this bad boy, or just under halfway through. I'm on page 115 of Practical Potions and Premeditated Murder by Ren Jones. This is definitely very cute, very cozy. I am enjoying the reading experience, and it's going really quickly. It's about Sella, who is a kitchen witch who's just come back to reopen her mother's old shop. She has a lovely cozy shop, an heirloom from her mother, a snarky feline familiar named BG, and one single friend to call her own. It should be enough, but Stella's magical abilities left a stain on her hometown, and even years away didn't repair her reputation. The life of a kitchen witch is rough when everyone thinks Stella's magical blends of coffee and tea will leave them with boils instead of the intended motivation or self-compassion, etc., etc. And then one day a ghost shows up in her living room and asks for help because she was just murdered and she doesn't remember how. So it's a lovely, so far lovely, sweet, soft, like cozy. It's definitely like cozy fantasy, which is nice. I'm enjoying it, which is great. But yes, my friends, anyways, I'm home now. We love to see it. I've got my 3 book spreads done. I also ended up filling in the one for Aragon here on this page, which I don't know if I showed you this earlier, but I'm absolutely enamored with my Aragon spread. Truly enamored. Absolutely love. I didn't know how it was gonna go when I first started it, but I printed the map of Allegasia and this art of Saphira and Aragon and then the sword off of the internet. I think the map of Allegasia and the image of Saphira and Aragon are from Christopher Paolini's website direct. I just tore up a bunch of like paper at the bottom from different magazine pages and also some like scrapbook pages that matched different colors in the 4 inheritance cycle covers. So we have like blue and gold and red and green. Basically, those are the 4 that work for this. So I made some mountains because I thought that was apt. I thought it was apt because mountains play a big part in at least the first book, the Bayor Mountains specifically in Aragon. So I thought that was kind of a pretty design on the bottom. And of course we have Zarok in the corner here. But I'm very happy with this spread. And I don't know, gosh, if you have been thinking about starting a reading journal, definitely do it because this is now one of my favorite things to do, and I'm honestly like gutted every time that I'm like, oh, I wish I could like do some scrapbooking, and I just don't have a book that I've read to do a scrapbooking page for because I'm just like, oh, I gotta read more so that I can do more. And honestly, I've been reading so much. I have read already 21 books this year, and I'm just burning through the books. So I read 13 books in January. So I've read 8 books so far this month. And to make the like 10 books a month goal that I've set for myself, I literally only have to read 2 more, which if I just read the 2 for my Friends Pick by TBR, I could do that. I also forgot that there is another book that I put onto my Friends Pick by TBR. So like halfway there from the 12 books my friends picked for me to read over the year, which I did back in like just late December. And then Kay Jemison, which I'm very excited to get to because I also printed some art for that, some fan art off the internet, which I don't know what any of this means because I literally know nothing about the 100,000 Kingdoms, which is what this is from. But like, how beautiful is this, right? Anyways, I'm stunned. It's stunning. But yeah, I ended up picking up or getting some more things printed this week, and I have like a bunch of extra books here that I really want to read. Like I have these 3 from the library, and then I have Alan Rickman, I think is going to be, this Madly Deeply is going to be the nonfiction that I read in March, and then this is going to be coming to me Tuesday, I think. So I have some pre-printed covers there and also a ton in here because it was one of those things where I just want to fill a page of printed covers because there's so many that I can do. So these are some of the bingos that I have from my 24 and 24 bingo board that I've got set up here, right here, which I haven't read any of the books from it yet, but I have now all of the covers to read it from. So this is not all of them. This is all of them. So I will be able to eventually put Brysinger in the spot. So what I did for these is because they're perfectly square, I just basically typed in like the name of the book plus audiobook cover so that it could be perfectly square because the audiobook covers are perfectly square, which is great. But yeah, this is my like hopeful 2024 TBR kind of vibes, which I'm excited about. So when I read them, I'll just glue them on the bingo board. And then I also have these as well because these are my like imminent TBR books that I would really love to get to. I also have this one from the library, Network Effect. I have it in finally. And then I have this trilogy that I would really like to read. I'm planning on rereading Marvelers and then reading The Memory Thieves by Daniel Clayton next month. And finally finishing John Gwynn's series. And then, of course, Jonathan Strange, which I keep saying I'm going to read. And I do promise I'm going to read it. Anyways, these are the updates of things that I've gotten printed for my book bullet journal, which is just, I just love it so much. So yeah, highly recommend if you want to do it. It's so fun to find things that match the covers and like do a little layout, and then also like really sit there and think of like the brief summary that I'll use for my videos when I do my wrap-ups, which I have like a sentence or two explaining what the book is about, and then I just like put my thoughts down in one spot and like really write it out, and then eventually I go and fill that in online as well. Or I do the opposite, which I'll write a review on Goodreads or Storygraph, and then I'll write it in here after the fact once I've like thought my brain out. Anyways, I have just been rambling for 20 minutes at you. So yes, I am home now, and it is technically Monday. So I'm gonna see what else I get up to today. It is technically Monday. It is Monday, not technically Monday. It is Monday, which is the last day of these vlogs always, but because it's a long weekend, it is still a weekend day. What I would love to do, love to do, after this, I'm gonna be filming my Friends Pick My TBR update. And then I think, well, it's like 6, so I'll probably eat something. And I do have to edit this vlog, so I will be doing that. But I also really want to start reading Eldest. I brought it with me to the lake, and I just didn't get a chance to start it. So I think that's what I'm going to do once I have done everything that I need to do. I'm going to start reading Eldest. And I also charged up my Apple Pencil because I also kind of want to redo my map that I have inside of A Second Story and a Little Luck, because I've explained this in another video, but once, like, now that I'm writing book 3, which this weekend I did get some work done on it, which I'm very happy about. I ended up writing about 1,300 words yesterday and about 500 words the day before. So I'm very happy with that. Last night when I was reading Practical Potions in bed, I ended up getting just like a little spark of something in my brain, and I wrote like 4 pages of notes in my notebook that I always bring with me for book 3. So very happy about that. Kind of figured out some stuff with plot and with a couple characters and Thistle, which is the creature in there, like just little things that I needed to figure out, and also with Mary's magic, like genuinely like things that I have needed to figure out, and like little elements of the story that are gonna just help, which is great. So I did that, and other than that, this weekend, that's literally all I did, was just reading, and I did a little bit of writing, which is great. We love. Because I'm in writing this one, the 3rd book, I realized that this one includes parts of Rivar, which is the realm that I've created, that don't exist on the map that is in A Second Story and a Little Luck, because that is a shortened map and it's a smaller map than the original big map that I made when I was creating the realm of Rivar, which includes another continent and like the lower chunk of the main continent. And also what I had to do in the resizing bullshit way back when I was working on A Little Luck and trying to get it like fixed through Amazon. I noticed what I did to it absolutely ruined the resolution of it, and it's so blurry to look at. So I need to redo the map, adding in the new lower part, and get it sized properly so that it looks good on page. Because looking at the map in A Second Story, everything is nice and bright and clear, and then looking at the map in A Little Luck, and it's kind of muddy and not clear. Like, you can read it, but it's really hard to read, and that just makes me sad. I think that might be my endeavor today. Once everything is wrapped up and done and this vlog is finished and edited and ready, I'm going to start listening to Eldest, and I'm going to start working on the redo of my Rivar map, which I'm a little nervous for because I don't remember what I did to create the map originally, because it's been now like well over a year and a bit. We shall see how it goes, but I love messing around on Procreate anyways. But yeah, so honestly, 3 good reads this weekend. An amazing one, an okay one, and a fairly good one as well. So love this for me. But yeah, I will catch up with you guys a little later, but I just wanted to pop in with this update finally, now that I'm home and I can tell you all the things that I've done. My voice is actually going now because I've been talking for so long, so I'll catch up with you guys a little later, but I'm back. Hello friends, it is now a lot later, it's about to be 11 p.m. and I just wanted to pop in and officially close out this vlog. I also broke the pop socket on the back of my phone yesterday, and I've been having the time of my life trying to figure out how to rest my phone without it because I didn't get another one. Should have, but now you are stacked on a blanket and against my water bottle, and hopefully that stays. Anyways, I was momentarily working on my map, but then my Apple Pencil decided to drain really quickly. So that's a little concerning. I don't want to buy another one. Anyways, so that's what I have been doing a little bit, but the majority of what I've been doing this evening is just eating and then editing this vlog. But I also, like an idiot, put all of the books that I read this weekend over there, so I can't even hold them up to tell you what I read this weekend. This is so funny. Well, you know what I read this weekend. I ended up running those books through Copile, which is great, so I can tell you their ratings. A little spoiler for the Friends Pick My TBR books. The Vampires of El Norte got 4.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed that book, and it is just honestly like a masterpiece in many different ways. I love the horror elements. I love the romance elements and the gothic nature of it. It was just so fabulous. Where Pieces Lost got 3.5 stars, which is pretty mid. That seems to be like my version of a mid rating. And River Enchanted ended up getting 4 stars, which I think is a good rating. A good rating. The whole, it's a good, I have lost my brain. What am I trying to say? It's a good result for this weekend's reading. That's what I was trying to say. I am going to close this vlog out here. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me this weekend. It's been a good time. It feels like it's been a little disjointed of a vlog, but I hope you didn't mind the montage in the middle and then the long rambly chats, because I like them and I like talking to you guys a whole heck of a lot. Let me know down below what your favorite read of February has been so far. I would love to know. And I'll catch you in another video very soon. Stay kind and keep on.